Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Tuesday, December 31st, 2024. Making the headlines tonight, Compol says Joshua Hall's friend suspected of his murder. Minister says assessment for refurbishment of Sugar Roads ongoing. Murder count for 2024 at 89, and Creme New Year's Cycling Classic to kick off sports calendar in 2025. We take our first break and return with the news in detail. Police Chester Williams provided more information relating to the murder of 20-year-old Joshua Hall, whose body was found with gunshot injuries in the Dominguez layout of Corozal Town on Sunday morning after being missing almost a week. Williams first spoke about the Corozal police station not having cameras functioning. As we reported, Hall went missing after signing in at the police station.
I am not aware of the camera system not working in Corozal, but I will check with Mr. Noble on that. And if it is not working, it should be something easy for us to resolve.
And you've dispelled, I'm not sure if an internal investigation was launched, but this allegation from the Hall family, they believe that a police officer at least may have been involved in their loved one's killing?
I am not going to say nothing negative against the Hall family, but I'll only say that they know fully well who is behind the killing of your loved one, and those persons who are behind that killing are not police officers. I would concede with them that the police may have acted too slow when they came to the police station initially to make the complaint, because the police ought to have taken the complaint seriously from the inception and assisted them in doing what needed to have been done to locate the loved ones. But in terms of having to do with the killing of Joshua Hall, I can say that the police have nothing to do with that.
So they should have participated in the search, and the family is saying they didn't?
The police did partook in the search. If a matter of fact, I had numerous conversations with Mr. Noble, and he sent me footages from the drone, because we have drones in Corozal, and they did a number of searches utilizing drone and manpower. Yes, there was some miscommunication between the family and the police at the inception, but Mr. Noble eventually met with the father and those issues were addressed.
You've also said there's been a lead in relation to the potential of the involvement of a friend?
Yes, apparently they were supposed to go on some mission, and even words coming from the family based on what I was briefed by Mr. Rivero, who is the head of professional standard branch, who I had sent down there, that the family did told him that they know that there were these friends, or used to be friends, who were after him and wanted him dead. Mr. Hall's body was found not too far from the home of one of those same individuals, and that person is in custody, as we believe that he may have been the one responsible.
And in terms of cameras along the route, some people say, well, Corozal, Danos, San Pedro, Danos, San Ignacio, and Belize City, for all these businesses to have cameras, but the family was saying that police told them no camera in that area yielded anything, even to say, well, where he could have ridden after.
I know that the police were searching for cameras. Again, I had numerous conversations with Mr. Noble over the course of the search, and one of the things I had pressed upon was for them to look for surveillance cameras within the area that could provide some leads. I know that they went to many places, including Social Security, to try and retrieve the footages, but they didn't get any. Nonetheless, they have not stopped there. They're still looking to see if they'll be able to come up with anything to be able to assist to show exactly where he went after he left the police station.
The murder count for this year, according to the Commissioner of Police, is at 89, whereas for 2023 it was at 87. The Compol today pushed back on the claim that under his tenure, there has been a move to have some murders reclassified as manslaughter, just so that the murder count could be less.
I really don't know if I should respond to stupidity. You people in the media know better. And whenever these things are brought to you, you should dispel them right away. It is not the Commissioner of Police who determines if a person gets charged for murder or manslaughter. The criminal code is clear. Where a person raises self-defense in any matter of a fatality, the file must go to the DPP for advice, and the police act on the advice of the DPP. So for anyone to say that the commissioner pushed for murder to be manslaughter, that's a high-class stupidity, and one shouldn't tolerate it, man, honestly.
Back to the numbers, we know that you take them very seriously as an index of police performance. Can you speak about that?
Of course. To have 89 murders this year, it's still 89 murders too much. We have to look at things for what they are. And every life lost simply means that there are people out there who are grieving for having lost their loved ones. And so as a department, we do our best to preserve life. But we do understand the vicissitudes of life, that things are going to happen that is going to be beyond your control. When those do occur, then it is our duty as the police to do our utmost best to bring closure to families, and closure in the form of finding the perpetrators of these crimes and try to bring them to justice. And that's what we have been pushing all year to do.
In more news from the north, the sugar crop season for 2024-2025 up north started on December 27, but farmers have cited the condition of sugar roads as one of the several challenges they are facing this season. Minister of Agriculture Hossemai at a press conference on Monday said meetings are happening even this week for assessments to determine the work that needs to be done. He noted that the Prime Minister is apprised of the situation and that they will do what is necessary.
I just have telephoned the chairman of Sugar Board, Mr. Osorio. The farmers met this morning and they are still concerned with Sugar Road, although MIDH is saying that in Corozal, the contracts have been completed up to 80%. So there seems to be some type of miscommunication regarding how many sugar roads are being done. Nevertheless, tomorrow I will proceed to meet with the cane farmers, and in my area we'll go over the area to see which roads have been repaired and which not. But the Prime Minister is also informed. I report to him daily on the matter of sugar industry, and if there is a need to fix the sugar roads, we have to do it. The only problem is that the weather has not been too cooperative. It rains on and off, and if it stops raining, then the soil is still wet and the trucks can't get in to dump. But it's not an excuse. I will follow up tomorrow here on, and if we need to fix sugar roads, we will do so.
In sporting news, on Wednesday, January 1st, the 34th annual Creme Radio New Year's Day Cycling Classic will kick off from the north end on Mahogany Street in Belize City. The Classic will feature 2 simultaneous races and 5 categories. The elite males will race from the northern border to Belize City, while the elite females, junior males, Masters 35 plus, and Masters 50 plus will race from Orange Walk Central Park to Belize City. As always, station prizes are up for grabs along the route, with more being added as we get to race time. As for the grand prizes for the elite males, the top prize is $2,500, a round-trip ticket to the U.S. and a trophy. For elite females, the top prize is $1,000, a round-trip ticket to the U.S. and a trophy. For junior males, the top prize is $1,000 and a trophy, with the overall winners of the Masters 35 plus and 50 plus receiving $500 and a trophy each. 2024's elite male winner was John DeLong, who will not be back to defend his title due to a shoulder injury. The elite female winner was Kaya Katus. Male junior winner was Tyler Tejeda. Women's youth winner was Ariel Gordon. Masters 35 plus winner was Kent Gabriel. And Sherman Thomas was Masters 50 plus winner. Tune in on Wednesday to find out who will be 2025's winners. After the break, officers complain about not receiving pay for extraneous duties. Stay with us.
La 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 la. Ooh, la 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 la. I've been waiting for this time all year round. Time to gather with my family and friends. Oh, I can hear the Christmas bells ring. Hear the choir as they sing. Oh, la 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 la, it's Christmas. Yeah, it's a Belizean Christmas. Oh, la 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 la, it's Christmas. Yeah, it's a Belizean Christmas. So tell me, do you feel it in the air? Time to spread
My fellow
Police officers in Belmopan and elsewhere are reporting having worked extraneous duties and not yet being paid, despite companies and entities reporting that they already transferred the funds to the police department. Extraneous duties means that officers provide security at different events or establishments. In particular, they work Christmas Day and New Year's Eve events at town councils. The officers claim that the delay in payment is a recurrent problem, and they feel that the money is used up by others and they only get paid when replacement funds come in. Today, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams denied these accusations and shared that there are some delays that had nothing to do with them.
That is not true. Police officers work extraneous duties in September, Christmas and New Year, and Easter holidays. How it works is that when you work extraneous for September, for example, it would have to go through my office to the ministry and then to the Ministry of Finance for approval. We normally do our best to have it ready that they can get it before the Christmas. Unfortunately, this year that did not happen. It has been approved by Ministry of Finance about a month or so ago. I received it and I gave it to Commander Operations, who normally put together a list and outline how much each officer will be getting. When the Commander Operations is finished with it, it then goes to our account section, and then from our account section it goes to the Treasury. Unfortunately, the Treasury was short of staff and they were not able to input the names of the officers and the amount that they were supposed to collect in the system, so that they could have gotten it in December. So that did not occur. However, we have been assured by Treasury that the officers are going to get their extraneous in January, so they're going to get paid. And every officer who works extraneous duty get paid. There's absolutely no situation or circumstances where that officer is not going to be paid, unless the officer did not report himself on and off duty. Then that is going to create some issue, because we have to have proof that the officer did in fact work. Hence the reason we told our officers, whenever you show up for extraneous duties, make sure you document yourself in the diary that you report on duty, and you also document yourself when you report off duty. So for any officer to be saying that what they have said to you, they are being disingenuous.
In September this year, some cane farmers in the north started noticing that their crop was being impacted by the fusarium disease, which causes yellowing and wilting of sugar cane. On Friday, Olivia Carballo Aviles, manager of cane farmer relations at BSI, provided an update.
Survey estimates about 40,000 acres has been affected. With some degree. The most severe areas are about 10,000 acres that are really severe in the way that we would want to recommend that those be replanted and not brought to the mill. Of course, that is really dependent on the farmer and what they do, but the content of this material, and fusarium is a disease that's in the soil and enters the plant if it has lesions or through the roots, and it starts rotting from the inside. So if you see a cane field, the cane looks fine, maybe some yellow leaves, but what is happening is that it's rotting from the inside. And so it's decomposing, fermenting, and by the time that reaches to the mill, you basically have just dried material to work with and little sugar content. That's going to be tough for grinding, is going to be tough for sugar extraction, and of course for everyone, because at the end of the day we don't get the sugar, and so you can't value that. The other issue is the stem borers that we continuously not treat, and so those are sort of pathogens. They make the holes on the plant, and that's where the disease can enter. So if we are not able to control that, then that will extend to the entire 68,000 acres of sugarcane field. Corozal has the most area affected, and Orange Walk really needs to put in the measures to protect their cane. And what is required, sanitization of equipment. Right now that we are going to be harvesting, the harvesting group leaders need to sanitize their truck, the tires, their machetes when moving from one field to the other, because otherwise they will be taking the fungus from one field to the other, and when you know the entire sugar area has been affected.
Carballo Avalos says it is critical that farmers begin to implement transformative practices.
We do have the different projects. It will be important that farmers take advantage of the 5 Cs funded by Green Climate Fund project, which is building adaptive capacity of sugarcane farmers. This project is one that we at BSI led in the development along with 5 Cs, and took 5 years to get approval. And so they have $50 million now to access, and the key objective here is to transform the sugarcane fields, do varieties that are early maturing, varieties that are diversified, do the pest management practices, do the soil care practices, soil health. Our soils are so depleted, it's a monoculture, so you keep working this land and not resting it. It will be important to do the practices for soil health, to make that soil come back and be able to produce, because that is really what's happening. Our soils are deteriorated. The other key project that farmers need to ensure that they access is the CRESAP project from being funded by the World Bank. And so if the farmers need assistance, need information, it is important for them to contact their associations, contact BSI, contact CIRDI, who are in these meetings and are able to bring the information to them so that they're able to access these projects.
As the clock strikes 12 tonight and 2025 dawns upon us, with it comes with much hope, resolutions, gratitude, and pop shots and fireworks, loads of it. Brace yourselves as another loud celebratory night is upon us. All people can do is complain on social media, with many saying it's the worst yet in recent memory. Others actually take up their complaints to the police department, but it does not appear things will change anytime soon, if ever at all. Here is the commissioner.
People call the police complaining on blogs about firecrackers. Man, give them a break, man. It's soon done.
That's been one of somebody called us.
Fireworks, the birthday, everything.
I am not going to have no child arrested for discharging firecrackers.
What about the parents?
Well, if the parents are caught, it's a different story.
Maybe we need to change legislation to make people to prove they get this.
You see, the thing is, Marisol, if the police goes to a house based on information and search and find firecrackers or whatever they may call them, and they do not have a permit for it, then the police can arrest and charge. I can tell you a number of persons applied for firecrackers for permit to import. We have people applied for like 5,000 worth, some apply for 3,000 worth, some apply for 2,000 worth, and when I see that amount, I said, hell no. I would only approve $500 worth, right? Because then if you buy 5,000 or 3,000, you certainly is buying that for commercial purpose. That's not for your personal consumption. And so I would approve them 500. I would say on the application, go and donate the rest of the money to a charitable organization. Why are you going to put $5,000 up in flames? Come on, man. So I don't approve that amount. I only approve 500. Only when it comes to the town councils, the city councils, and the village councils, I would approve that amount because I know that they're doing it for the celebrations.
Someone is saying that there's fraud involved with that too. Like people that go wrong, I don't know, if they get in fraudulent permits.
Well, that's a matter for custom. If custom would encounter a permit that they believe is fraudulent, then customs will refer that to the police and then we'll take a...
Residents of Progreso last night complained of branches being strewn across the San Esteban Progreso Road, which connects the two villages in Orange Walk and Corozal districts, respectively. Today, the Commissioner of Police acknowledged the incident and spoke on what he tasked his officers to do. He also addressed whether the police believe the act could be connected to narco-criminal activity.
Well, yes, the police did receive calls that the road was blocked by a number of trees that were cut and placed on the road. I had directed the police to seek the assistance of the Ministry of Works to get some heavy equipment to be able to clear the road of those trees. That was done, and since then we have not received any further reports. Neither did we have any truck last night, which would indicate that a plane would have been coming into our airspace. Nonetheless, we remain vigilant in the area to see if there is anything that may be planned to take place within that particular area.
After the break, Orange Walk man is first Belizean with black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. Stay tuned.
La 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 la. La 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 la. I've been waiting for this time all year round. Time together with my family and friends. Oh, I can hear the Christmas bells ring.
here that are trying to do the same thing, but now that I'm a black belt, yes, I can officially promote the people under myself now. So I want to thank, of course, my professor, Jeremy Mahon from Houston, Texas, who has, he's been like my mentor and, always pushing me to reach the limit, whatever my body can do. And everyone in Houston, Texas, I train with when I go there. And I also want to thank my home gym in Orange Rock because all the guys here are very young and they come to train and, and also, of course, my family who's always supporting me that, this is a long dedication to do this pretty much 4 to 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. And I'm always away training or here in Orange Rock training. And I'm always involved in the sport of martial arts now. So I want to thank them for their support because it's a lot of commitment from family and myself.
In recent years, Belizeans have become more involved in combat and martial arts sports. Recently, we have highlighted Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, whose Belizean athletes have seen regional success of late. But there has been an increased involvement in MMA, or mixed martial arts, as well. Silvino Riverol Jr., who has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and who is heavily involved in MMA, spoke of the difference between the two disciplines.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is one of the martial arts that people consider one of the strong bases of MMA. Mixed martial arts, which is MMA, consists of all the arts, right? Everything, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, karate, boxing, every single art, taekwondo, everything is mixed into one. But in terms of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's a specific martial art. And being that when the UFC was founded in 1983, they did UFC 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The first 5 UFCs, they did martial art versus martial art. So they would do a karate guy versus a boxing guy, a taekwondo guy versus a jiu-jitsu guy, right? And the Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy won the first 4 events quite easily too. So that's when they demonstrated that the Brazilian jiu-jitsu martial art is far superior than the others, no? It was proven that it works more than the others. So being to that was where the UFC started. But as fighters grew and the sport grew, people realized that the best martial art is putting all of them together, putting all of them together. So it became mixed martial arts. But most people start off doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu or wrestling, and that's the basis that people start so that they can have a good MMA background. So it's pretty much Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is one of the arts of the MMA scene, but it's one of the strongest arts. That's why whenever you see UFC fighters walk out, you always see at the bottom, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, no? They never say like another art. It usually says Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, no? That's because that's the prestigious one. But MMA is the entire thing combined.
Riverol also spoke of the success Belizean athletes have had while competing in both MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitions regionally. Riverol expects the success to continue and even grow.
We have some very highly skilled competitors here in Belize. For example, the guys from Dark Arts Academy, like Ronald Hyde, those guys, they train Jiu-Jitsu every day. That's all they do. So they're always going to have an upper edge on other athletes when it comes to Jiu-Jitsu because that's what they do 24/7. So those guys are definitely going to be representing Belize and doing very good, maybe bringing gold medals as what they did in Chatamal. So I do expect them to excel and to keep on spreading the love of Jiu-Jitsu. Like I said, I also love Jiu-Jitsu, but that's not my main focus anymore. I focus more on MMA. So my athletes do Jiu-Jitsu, and we do pretty good in competitions, but it's not our main objective. So we don't put our 100% effort into it. We put our effort into MMA, which is why my gym dominates MMA in Belize and in the region pretty much. We have all the belts pretty much, amateur belts. And now we have a couple of guys who are pros who are going to be taking over very soon of the UFC. You're going to be seeing a couple of Belizeans in the UFC, and they're going to be coming from Orange Rock from my gym. So that's my goal, and I see Jiu-Jitsu also growing along with MMA. Both of them is like one love, so I want to see both of them prosper here in Belize.
And today, the generation license for Belkagen, the subsidiary of Belize Sugar Industries, will have expired. The company earlier applied for a new license for the provision of 27.5 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. At the end of November, the Public Utilities Commission announced that it intended to grant consent for the facility and invited comments or objections by Friday, December 27. Sean Chavarria, Director of Finance at BSI, explained that they already have their 10-year license and are now awaiting consent for the facility.
Belkagen generation license is actually expiring at the end of December. And so with the new regulation, we had to go through a process of applying first for a generation license and then the consent for the facility. So we now have our generation license for the next 10 years, and the process of finalizing the consent, I think the deadline is today. And so far we haven't heard, we've submitted everything that has been requested by the PUC. And so we're expecting that that consent should similarly be provided.
And with that, we have come to the end of our newscast. A repeat can be viewed on the station later tonight at 9 and again Thursday at midday. Join us again Thursday for another news broadcast. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable New Year's Eve.